Hey everybody, this is Bo back in the lounge. Want to do a shout out to our 1.5 million listeners all over this great world. Thank you for the emails and texts. Right now, we're going to head down to Kent State University, talk to head wrestling coach Jim Andrassey. Coach, thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Coach, you've really done a nice job in that program, man, resurrecting it. You've got All-Americans, academic All-Americans, and you've done it in a pretty short period of time.
Yeah, this is the beginning of my 7th year, and my first year I got hired pretty much when the season had already started. So I kind of threw away that first year. So I think it's, my 6th year really going full time at it.
You know, Coach, a lot of programs across this country are struggling, and they bring in some new top guns, and they seem to have a different flair, a different energy level in the program. What was kind of your goal when you first took over that program, and what direction were you trying to go?
Well, I've always, I've been here for a long time. I went to school at Kent. I was an assistant coach for a long time. I had two older guys that were above me, and I saw how they did it. And then, seeing programs like Central Michigan emerge as me being an assistant, I kind of saw how they did things. And I think it's just the passion for going to work every day and making a living and just trying to do the best job you can. And, this isn't about me. It's about bringing the student athletes that I'm going to give the best chance to become an All-American or national champ. So I think as a person, you have to take in everything. My thing is, there's other jobs out there if I just wanted to go in and punch in and get my paycheck every month. But this is a real passion for me, and I just love the sport, and I'm hoping I can continue doing good things here at Kent State.
Well, a top 25 ranking is pretty good. Not bad, Coach. You've brought that program around where it's now being followed. People are looking for you at competitions. And, I would say in a reasonably short period of time, because wrestling's one of those sports that it can take a while to develop the right athlete and the right mindset in a program. You did it in a reasonably quick period of time.
Yeah, one of the things is my first 2 years, the first year, like I said, I got hired in the middle of the year, we were horrible. We were, it was embarrassing. I remember, it was probably the worst year of my life just because I was so miserable at my house with my kids because I was, just trying to turn things around faster than what I was than they were going. My second year, I learned a lot. I learned, all right, this is how we don't want to do things. We got new kids in, and from there, it continued to get better. My third year, we were ranked in the top 25 by the end of the year, and since then, we've been in the top 25 every year. And I don't think any rankings have come out yet this year, but I probably think we're a top 20 team preseason ranking just because of the kids we have back and some of the transfer we brought in and, the kids that we have in our lineup. And we've gotten better every year, and I think that's been at least my goal is to be consistently better at everything as far as recruiting, as far as how we budget our money, within the department, how our guys act out in the community, everything we've gotten better at. And I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I'm the best at this, but I think I've gotten better every year at what I'm doing. And, it gets a little bit easier at the same time. You can start to learn other things once you get better at, you get better at one thing, so now you can start trying to improve in other areas. I think that's what we've done as a department.
I think wrestling across the board, when you talk to coaches like yourself, Coach Winkle, Coach Borelli, Brand, well, you find out that, you could be making a lot more money working even in a management position at a retail store than you can in wrestling. So when your wrestling coach comes on and starts talking about it and all the energy he puts into it, most of the time the wrestling coaches aren't even being paid for the hours they put into their programs because it is such a grueling season to begin with. Football players complain about their season. Wrestlers never stop once they enter college.
And that's, we go from the first day of school until, when school ends, and during the summer, like I said, there's certain things that some schools are able to do more because they have more money. I know at Kent we're kind of handcuffed a little bit on what we're allowed to do in the summer as far as keeping certain kids and how many kids we can keep on campus to go to summer school. But in the same sense, we talk all the time about our guys as far as investing in yourself. And, this is different than football. It's different than basketball. But in the same sense, I think we're developing the better student after they're done with college. It's a nature and piece that we train these guys, we do all this stuff with them, then they go out and then they're going to be successful outside of the world because of it.
The other thing that we draw to is the MAC across the board has made some giant strides on the national circuit, whether it's wrestling or football or basketball. And I'm not quite sure why the MAC wasn't given a lot of love before. Now, the MAC is being talked about. The programs are being talked about. Wrestling is always in the top 25 now. From your standpoint, do you see the growth of wrestling, and especially in the MAC?
Well, I know what I see as far as in wrestling. If you talk about football and basketball, I follow a little bit of football. As far as basketball, I don't have time to follow basketball.
No one does because it's your season.
But I know in wrestling, our university, not that they don't care about national things, but they care about winning the MAC. They care about our team winning a MAC championship. And the one good thing about us is that we can say, all right, for us to win a MAC championship, we got to catch Central. Central's been a top 10 team, as far as how they finished ranked the last 4 or 5 years in a row, I think, here. So our university feels, all right, we should be MAC champs. And my holler's been about, all right, give us what Central has, and I think we could do those types of things. And we're getting closer to get the same types of things they have there. And like I said, Central's a great benchmark. Every team in the MAC wants to be like them. I think we're getting closer. We end up beating them in a duel, but I think ultimately they still have the better program than we are, and we're building every day to have the same type of program. Hopefully, it can be the type of thing that us and Central in the top 10, and we usually wrestle at the end of the year, and it's one of those things that could be a top 10 match every year, to decide who wins the MAC championship. That's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to catch Central at this point, and it just so happens that Central's been a top team in the country every year. So, in reality, we're trying to become a top 10 team ourselves also.
Coach, with the effort you put into it, you can clearly see it. One thing before we let you go, in sports, we're always drawn to overhypeness. We look at different programs, how they do. One of the biggest stats I think out there is the top 100 athletes, especially in football, because most of these guys have never played really any serious competition. When you look at wrestlers, however, in a wrestling program, whether they're from a small school or a large school in high school, they have competed at the best level in the best competition, where in other sports it all depends on your schedule and who you happen to be playing. And wrestling is such a one-on-one sport, so when you get those top recruits coming to your program, I don't want to say a sure thing, but they look like they're almost a tried and true product when they step on campus. Is that how you see it as well?
Well, I've seen a lot, and I think it's kind of a double-edged question there, because these guys like Dustin Kilgore and Brendan Barlow and Nick Bailey are three of the top kids, top 100 kids that we've gotten, and they've worked out great. I can remember when I was a high school kid, my brother was one of the best guys in the country, and he went to college, and my brother's a great guy. He works real hard at his job. He's got a family. He isn't considered, he's made it in life, in my opinion. But in the same sense, he went to college, and he just didn't do very well in wrestling. And like I said, I've seen it. So there's many factors of why he didn't do as well as he could have. Maybe he didn't choose the right school. Maybe, he went to the school for the wrong reasons. Maybe he just didn't like wrestling anymore. But my brother's a perfect example of a guy. We had every Big Ten coach in my house when I'm a 10th grader, and I'm listening to him talk and telling him how, he could be a national champ if they come to their school. And it's never a guarantee, but usually when you look at those 100 kids, as long as you do your work as a coach, finding out the good things about them, the bad things, I think you can make a pretty good assumption. Hey, I got the top guys here, and we're going to do something with them. And usually it works out for you. I know it's worked out really well for us with our top recruits that we've gotten.
I would have to say absolutely, especially with the program you put together. Now, Coach, you've been there for a while. However, you're now going into your 7th season or 6th season, depending on how we set it up. Who are those guys in the locker room now that are really speaking your philosophy to the young recruits? I'm sure the freshmen are showing up and they've got wide eyes and they think they know everything, and they're probably learning that they don't. But who are those guys in your locker room right now that are really helping you out?
Well, I think guys like Danny Mitchell, I think guys like Nick Bevion, even though he's only he's going to be a junior, I think he's someone that our guys look at. Dustin Kilgore, once again, he's a young kid, but Dustin works extremely hard. I think those are our 3 guys that are really going to lead our team. We have a relatively young team, but a guy like Danny Mitchell, he doesn't say a whole lot, but when he speaks, guys listen, and it's just about watching him. His work ethic is incredible, and he's the future as far as this year. And guys like Dustin Kilgore are our future, and he follows right in Danny's footsteps as far as how hard he works.
Coach, I want to say thanks for showing up and being so tough. We're going to ask if we can give you a call in probably another month and a half to check on some of your fall stuff.
Sounds great. I appreciate it.
Hey, guys, Kent State University head wrestling coach Jim Andrassey. Thank you, sir. One moment. We are off the air.